She was only 18 years old when her life came to a heartbreaking end. To millions, she was the sweet young star from a beloved TV show. But behind the bright lights of Hollywood, she was carrying secrets few people knew. Years before her tragic death, she spoke about the hidden dangers of fame, pressure, and the dark side of child stardom. What really happened to this young actress, and why are people still talking about her story today? Long before Hollywood knew her name, she was just a little girl with a bright smile and a big dream. Millions of people would soon fall in love with her, but no one knew that her life would become one of the saddest stories in child star history. Anissa Jones was born on March 11, 1958. She grew up in a normal family and loved to perform from a young age. Her natural charm made people smile wherever she went. She had something special that cameras loved. Even as a child, she knew how to make people feel happy. When she was only 6 years old, everything changed. Anissa got the role of Buffy Davis on the hit television show Family Affair. The show quickly became one of America's favorite family programs. Viewers loved Buffy because she was sweet, funny, and full of energy. Her famous blonde curls and adorable personality made her an instant star. Almost overnight, Anissa became one of the most recognizable child actors in America. People everywhere knew her face. Fans sent her letters. Reporters wanted interviews. Television audiences watched her grow up right in front of their eyes. For many families, she felt like a member of their own home. But becoming famous at such a young age came with a price. While other children were playing outside and enjoying school, Anissa was spending long hours on television sets. Her childhood was very different from that of most kids. She had responsibilities that many adults would find difficult to handle. The money, the attention, and the pressure all became part of her daily life. Many child stars are told that fame is a dream come true. But fame can also take away something very important, a normal childhood. Children often grow up too fast when cameras are always following them. Anissa's story shows us that being famous is not always as perfect as it looks on television. Behind every smile on the screen, there is still a young person trying to understand the world around them. Child stars may look happy to millions of viewers, but they still need love, support, and time to simply be children. Before we continue, tell us in the comments, what is the most surprising thing you've learned about child stars in Hollywood? At the time, nobody could have imagined that the little girl America adored would one day become a symbol of Hollywood's hidden struggles. And sadly, her biggest challenges were still waiting for her. After Family Affair became a huge success, Anissa Jones was living a life that most children could only imagine. She was famous, loved by fans, and earning more money than many adults. But fame at a young age can be very confusing. Anissa spent much of her childhood working on television sets. While other children went to birthday parties and played with friends after school, she had scripts to learn and scenes to film. Her days were planned by adults who wanted the show to succeed. At first, being a star seemed exciting. People praised her everywhere she went. Fans asked for her autograph. Television magazines featured her picture on their covers. She became one of the most popular child actresses of her time. But growing up in Hollywood is very different from growing up in an ordinary home. As Anissa got older, she began to face a problem that many child stars experience. The audience loved her as little Buffy Davis. They wanted her to stay cute and innocent forever. Unfortunately, children do not stay children forever. They grow up. Tea could happen behind the scenes. If you're enjoying this story and want more celebrity documentaries that reveal the untold side of Hollywood, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. What happened next would show just how difficult life can become when childhood fame suddenly fades away. By the time Anissa Jones became a teenager, she had already lived a life that most people could never imagine. She had fame, money, and millions of fans. But behind the smiles and television appearances, there was another side of Hollywood that few people ever saw. Many child stars grow up believing that their value comes from being famous. When the cameras stop rolling and the applause becomes quieter, it can leave them feeling lost and alone. Anissa was no different. Hollywood can be a difficult place for children. Young actors are often expected to act like adults before they are ready. They face pressure to look perfect, behave perfectly, and keep everyone around them happy. At the same time, they're still trying to grow up and understand who they are. After Family Affair ended, Anissa struggled to adjust to an ordinary life. The sudden change was hard, One day, she was one of the most recognized child stars in America. The next, she was trying to find her place in a world that had moved on. People often assume that fame brings happiness. In reality, fame can sometimes create loneliness. Child stars may have many people around them, but not everyone is there for the right reasons. Some are interested in money, publicity, or success rather than the child's well-being. Anissa later spoke openly about the pressure she experienced as a child actor. She wanted people to understand that Hollywood was not always the magical place that audiences imagined. Behind the cameras, there could be stress, unrealistic expectations, and emotional struggles that young performers were not prepared to handle. Her story helped shine a light on an important truth. Children working in entertainment need protection, guidance, and support. Success at a young age should never come at the cost of a child's emotional and mental well-being. Sadly, many former child stars have shared similar experiences over the years. Their stories remind us that fame can sometimes hide pain that audiences never get to see. Before we continue, take a moment to like and share this video. It helps us bring more untold Hollywood stories to viewers around the world. As Anissa grew older, she became more determined to live life on her own terms. But the choices she would make next would change everything and lead to one of the most tragic endings in Hollywood history today. As Anissa Jones entered her late teenage years, she wanted something she had never truly experienced before: freedom. After spending most of her childhood in front of television cameras, she wanted to make her own choices and live life as a normal young adult. But leaving child stardom behind was not easy. Anissa had spoken about how difficult it was growing up in Hollywood. She felt that many people only saw the character she played on television and not the real person she had become. The industry had given her fame, but it had also taken away much of her childhood. She once expressed that she wanted people to understand that being a child star was not always a fairy tale. The pressure of growing up in the public eye could be overwhelming. While millions of viewers saw success, few understood the emotional struggles that often came with it. As she grew older, Anissa became frustrated with the image Hollywood had created for her. She wanted to move forward with her life and make her own decisions. Like many young people, she was trying to discover who she was outside of the role that had made her famous. Unfortunately, making that transition proved difficult. The entertainment industry can sometimes celebrate young stars while they are successful, but offer very little support when they begin to grow up. Child actors are often expected to manage enormous changes in their lives without the guidance they truly need. Anissa's story became a reminder that fame does not protect someone from life's challenges. In many ways, her experiences exposed a hidden truth about Hollywood. The industry can create stars, but it does not always help them navigate life after childhood fame. Her struggles helped start important conversations about protecting young performers and supporting them long after the cameras stop rolling. The dark secret she helped reveal was not a single scandal or one shocking event. It was something much bigger: the emotional cost that child stardom can sometimes leave behind. Stay with us, because the most heartbreaking part of Anissa's story is still ahead. By the summer of 1976, her life would take a tragic turn that nobody could have imagined. In August 1976, Anissa Jones was preparing to celebrate a major milestone in her life. She had just turned 18 years old and was finally gaining control over the money she had earned as a child actress. For the first time, she was looking forward to making her own decisions and starting a new chapter. Friends said that Anissa was excited about her future. She wanted to enjoy her independence and leave the struggles of her childhood fame behind. Like many young adults, she dreamed of living life on her own terms. But tragedy struck only a short time later. On August 28, 1976, Anissa Jones was found dead at the age of just 18. News of her sudden passing shocked Hollywood and devastated fans across America. The little girl who had once brought smiles to millions of television viewers was gone far too soon. The official reports later determined that her death was caused by an accidental drug overdose. She had reportedly taken a combination of substances that proved fatal. Her death became one of the most heartbreaking stories involving a former child star. People across the country began asking difficult questions. How could someone so young and successful lose her life so early? What role did childhood fame play in the challenges she faced growing up? While no single event can fully explain a person's life or struggles, Anissa's story highlighted the importance of emotional support for young performers. Fame can open many doors, but it can also create pressures that are difficult for children and teenagers to understand or manage. Her passing also brought attention to a problem that continues to be discussed today. The transition from child stardom to adulthood is often far more difficult than audiences realize. Many former child actors have spoken about the need for stronger support systems, both during and after their careers. The tragedy of Anissa Jones reminds us that celebrities are human beings first. Behind every television role is a real person with hopes, fears, and challenges that the public may never fully see. Her life ended much too early, but her story continues to teach important lessons about fame, childhood, and the hidden struggles that can exist behind Hollywood's brightest lights. What happened next would ensure that Anissa Jones would never be forgotten. Nearly 5 decades after her death, Anissa Jones is still remembered by fans around the world. For many people, she will always be the sweet little Buffy from Family Affair. But today, her story means much more than a famous television role. Anissa's life became an important reminder that fame and success do not always bring happiness. She showed the world that child stars need more than applause and television ratings. They need protection, guidance, emotional support, and the chance to grow up at their own pace. Over the years, Hollywood has slowly begun to pay more attention to the well-being of young performers. Conversations about child actors, mental health, financial protection, and life after fame have become more common. While there is still work to do, stories like Anissa's have helped people understand why these issues matter. Many former child stars have shared experiences that sound surprisingly similar. They speak about the pressure of growing up in front of millions of people, struggling to find their identity, and dealing with expectations that no child should have to carry alone. Anissa Jones may not have lived long enough to see those conversations happen, but her story helped shine a light on an issue that continues to affect young performers today. The dark secret she exposed was simple but powerful. Hollywood can make children famous, but fame alone cannot protect their childhood. Success means very little if a young person is left without the support they need to live a healthy and happy life. Her story also reminds us to look beyond celebrity headlines. Behind every smiling photograph is a real human being with emotions, dreams, and struggles. Sometimes, the people who appear happiest on our television screens are carrying battles that no one else can see. Before we end today's story, thank you for watching. If this documentary touched you, stay with us for more untold stories from Hollywood's biggest stars. Anissa Jones was only 18 years old when her life came to a tragic end, but the lessons from her journey continue to live on. Her story is not only about fame or loss, it is about protecting childhood, understanding the hidden cost of success, and remembering the person behind the celebrity.